Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and in the beautiful town of Betong in Sarawak in Malaysian Borneo, I found two rare rambutan relatives. First, what is rambutan? It's basically the only member of the genus Nephelium, which is at least a little bit known in the West and shows up on Western markets from time to time. What is a rambutan? The name means hairy, and it's basically a hairy lychee. It's a relative of the lychee with long hairs. And some people might think that all representatives of the genus Nephelium have long hairs. No, they don't. There are actually dozens of edible species in the genus Nephelium. The rambutan, lychee relatives, they used to be in the same genus with lychee. Now they're in a separate genus, Nephelium. Let's call it the rambutan genus, also, although not all species are hairy. There are also, apart from all the species, there are a ton of ancient varieties of rambutan, which are unfortunately disappearing fast. Now you will find mostly those usually big red skin and green tips of the hairs. But if you look out, you can find also a lot of rare and ancient and much better tasting rambutan varieties. A close cousin of the rambutan is the Pulasan. It used to be called Nephelium mutabile. Now it's called Nephelium rambutan ake. I refuse to use this name because this is the rambutan. Well, why give this the Latin name rambutan? It's not even hairy. So I stick to Nephelium mutabile, which is a very good name for this genus because for this species, because mutabile means changeable or diverse. And this one is very diverse. Nowadays you have big brown Pulasan fruits which are basically taking over the markets here in Sarawak. And strangely enough, everywhere else in Southeast Asia and in the tropics, Pulasan is basically completely unknown of. For example, in Java, I showed pictures and told the name to people. They have no idea what this is, which is a pity because Pulasan is usually much tastier than rambutan. But it has a couple disadvantages, like the very thick rind, which adds a lot of weight. So this is some old green, not unripe, but green Pulasan variety, which I found here and decided to document. And last but definitely not least, in the middle, we have Nephelium maingayi. Crazy names in this genus. And Nephelium maingayi is often also referred to as the redan or the hairless rambutan. So you can see it is a Nephelium and it has totally no hairs. However, usually Nephelium maingayi, like the other members of the genus, has elongated fruits. But here I found a variety with perfectly round fruits and decided to document it. Now let's try them. Right now we are in the fruit season. As you can see, fruit stalls are everywhere, like over there in the background. Fruits are basically for free. We got like 1.5 kilograms of rambutan for 2 ringgit, which is less than 50 US cents or 50 euro cents or what, 35 or 40 British pennies, and maybe what would it be, 40 something US cents and 40 euro cents, very cheap. Here we got a small remnant of what they were selling for 2 ringgit, and I think if I hadn't asked for the price I would have gotten it for free. This was more expensive. This little bag here cost us 6 ringgit because it's a rare fruit, it's quite small, and so they can charge a higher price. Let's start with the modern rambutan variety. Rambutan is basically the plum of Southeast Asia. It's the common plum-shaped plum sized, slightly plum taste fruit, but it's a hairy plum. The modern varieties are mostly free stone. You can see that the flesh separates easily from the stone. The rind is comparatively thin. Tasty. This one was moderately juicy, moderately sweet, tiny bit of sourness, not much flavor to it. Now the Pulasan. Usually Pulasan, in 90% of the cases, is highly superior to Rambutan. Except for the thickness of the skin. See how thick the skin is here? Maybe 20% of the weight is skin and seed. Here, it's more than 50. Not the best Pulasan, but I would say clearly superior to the Rambutan. Soft and juicy. Also quite mild and not too sweet. Definitely clingstone. Yeah, a good Pulasan, although not a superior Pulasan. The superior Pulasans, they make you want to destroy all Rambutan trees and plant Pulasan instead. Now, the Hairless Rambutan, which is not a Hairless Rambutan, just another representative of the genus. It happens to be hairless. Thin rind. Quite tasty. This tastes like a good Pulasan. Clingstone. The consistency is between those two. This is quite firm. You can eat it without getting your hands too dirty. This is quite juicy. Here the consistency is in between. The taste is much better. Still not very sweet, but sweeter, a richer taste, more flavor. Good stuff. This is clearly winner number 1, number 2, and the normal Rambutan number 3. Yeah, it's being grown mostly out of convenience, not because it's the best variety. So folks, those were 2 rare Nephelium varieties of quite rare Nephelium species compared to the normal mainstream market Rambutan. Tell me your opinion about Nephelium. Apart of it, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich town of Petong in Borneo. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.